A Child's Christmas in Yorkshire. The Christmas Kiss. Me and me dad were in the kitchen, untangling the Christmas lights for the tree. Not that we had one yet. We always waited until just before Christmas, 'cause that's when they got cheap. He dragged the dusty old Christmas suitcase down from the attic and had been going through it, pulling out the decorations and stuff. Then me mum came in from her mother's union meeting. "Hey, you'll never guess what they made the other night." "Oh," said me dad, not looking up. "The carol singers from the church, Monday night." "No," he said. "Go on, guess," said Mum. "No," he said. "Go on, I bet you can't." "You're right," he said. "I can't." "No, have a guess. Go on." £10, said Dad. "No, guess again." "Oh, I don't know then." "Guess." 15. "No, go on." "Good grief, woman, it's going to be next Christmas in a minute and they'll be round again." £27, me mum said. 27. "Bloody hell," said me dad. And I said it at the same time, but they didn't hear me, thank goodness. £27? They were only out for an hour, weren't they? "Yes," said Mum. "Mind, there was a good turnout, the full choir." "There wants to be for £27, said me dad. "I'd want Harry Belafonte and all for that kind of money." It got me thinking, did that. £27 just for singing a few Christmas songs. I could sing. I could sing a blooming sight better than Geoffrey Woodall, who was in the choir. Even our cat could sing better than him. And I needed some money. By the time I went to bed, the plan was just about made. I'd go carol singing the next night and make a fortune. But I didn't like the idea of going by myself. I'd need a mate, someone who could sing, someone who could walk round village at night, and most of all, someone who could keep quiet about it. If Mum and Dad found out, they'd kill me. And so would the others at school. And that's where my list of singers got very short very quick. See, most of the kids in our school came in on a bus from the farms round about. There were only 12 kids lived in the village itself. When you took away the infants and all the kids younger than me, and the 5 who were up at the big school, there was only one left. Josie Carter. A girl. Mind, she could sing. But I couldn't go round with a girl. Never. Oh, I couldn't get to sleep. I kept thinking about all that money, so easy to get. But then I thought about asking Josie to go round with me. Not so easy, that bit. I couldn't. I just couldn't. Next day at school, I kept looking round at all the kids in our class. When we had morning prayers and sang the hymn, I listened to every one of them, seeing who was good enough to sing carols. Most of them sounded all right, but that was only when we all sang together. If Mrs. Heath ever wanted just one person to sing, she either asked me or, Josie Carter. It had to be her. We only had 2 days left at school before we broke up. It was either her or nobody. And I wasn't going to let all this money go as easy as that. I'd have to ask her at playtime, in secret. I'd write her a note, No! What if someone else got hold of it? No! I'd have to ask her myself, in the playground. Of course, at playtime it was raining hard, so we had to stay inside. Josie was tidying up the nature table, so I went over, pretending I had a dead bird or something to add to it. It was risky, but I had to speak to her. If anyone saw me talking to her, I mean really talking, I'd be murdered. 'Cause you don't talk to girls. You just shout stuff at 'em now and then. And you never touch 'em, unless it's to give 'em a quick bat for being cheeky. I put a conker down on the table and whispered to her. "I want a word." "Yeah," she said. "Shh," I said. "No, not here. After school, at shop corner, right?" "All right," she said. And I went back over to me mates who were playing rugby with Kevin Brown's balaclava. After school, she was waiting for me just around the corner from the shop. "Now then," I said, "do you want to make some easy money?" "I'm not showing you me knickers," she said. "No," I said, "not that. I mean carol singing." She said, "Carol singing?" "Yeah, you and me, tonight." "Where?" she said. "Round village." "Oh, I don't know about that," she said. "I think I'd rather show you me knickers." "Oh, come on," I said, "it'll be a doddle. And think of the money. That church lot, they made £27. "Oh, all right then. Come for me at 7 o'clock. "No," I said, "I can't come to your house. I'll meet you back here." "All right then, see ya." And she skipped off up Westgate, singing away in a manger. I could hardly eat me tea, I was that excited. Then I went and had a look in the piano stool box to see if I could find some carol music. I couldn't, so I'd just have to sing the ones I know. And that's what people like anyway, the ordinary ones. At 7:05, I went round to the shop corner, and Josie was already there, waiting. She was all wrapped up with a scarf and gloves, as well as her duffel coat. "Now then," I said, "let's start at other end," and we walked up the village to Cottage Row. "Right," she said, "shall we knock and start singing then?" "No," I said, "we'll sing first, then knock, and you'll have to take that scarf off, else they won't hear you." "But what if they're watching telly? They won't hear us, and when we knock they'll want another song." "No," I said, "it's best if we just sing. That way it comes as a nice surprise to 'em. They'll stop whatever they're doing and listen." I'd seen this happen in a film once. "Yeah, they'll all stop, and then they'll get their purses out and sort their some money, and then we knock, and they give it to us. Easy. Now to it." "All right then," she said. I liked Josie, because she never argued for long. See, what Josie didn't realise was that as soon as we knocked on the door, I was going to bugger off round the nearest corner, leaving her to get the money. I wanted it to snow, because that makes people feel more Christmassy, and they'd give us more money, but it was a bit foggy instead, which was all right, because it was easier to hide in. First place we tried, there was nobody in, even though there was a light on, or else they were in and just ignored us. Then we went next door, and Mrs. Dobson gave us threepence for 2 verses of Good King Wenceslas. This was going to be easy. We soon had the routine down. We'd sing 2 verses, Josie would knock, and I'd bugger off. Then she'd come and find me and tell me what we'd been given. It meant I had to trust her, but she's always been nice to me, so I think I could. Mrs. Bradshaw said she hadn't got any change, but she gave Josie an orange instead. By 8 o'clock, we'd done all the houses we wanted to, having missed those where other kids lived, or where the people knew us and might tell our parents. A lot of people seemed to be out. "Had enough," I said, as we got to the corner of Westgate. "Yeah, and I'm a bit cold," she said. "Can I put me scarf back on?" She'd had to take her gloves off and all, so people could hear her knocking on doors. "All right, let's go to your lane end and sort out what we've got." She was still singing while we walked. I think she actually liked carols. Well, to tell you the truth, I did as well, but I wasn't going to let her on. We got to the bottom of Josie's lane, and we pulled out all the coins and put 'em on a wall and started counting. We had 1 and 6 between us. "Don't forget the orange," said Josie, holding it up like it was the FA Cup. "Oh, aye," I said, "but I don't like oranges. You can have it." "Ta," she said. Then I suddenly realised that this was part of our earnings. "Hey, how much is it worth?" "Oh, I don't know," she said. "Me mum always buys at least 6. I think she pays about 2 bob." I started doing the sums in my head. 2 bob divided by 6, that's 6 into 2, that goes, well, that's about... Now then, if you get 6 for 2 bob, that means for 1 you'll pay about 4pence, she said. "Is it?" "Yeah," she said. 6 is into 2 bob goes 4pence. "Are you sure? 4pence apiece? Right then, so if that orange is worth 4pence, and we add that to the 1 and 6, we get, wait a minute, 1 and 10, she said. "Right, 1 and 10, I said, just like I thought. Now, if we share 1 and 10 between the two of us, that makes 11pence each, she said. She was starting to get on my nerves a bit now with all these quick answers. She didn't give me a chance to think properly. "Are you sure?" I said. 11pence each? "Yeah. 1 and 10 is 22 pennies, divided by 2 equals 11. "Yeah, right. Is it? All right then, 11pence each." And I started dividing up the coins. "Oh, hang on, it doesn't work," I said. "It won't go. We've got no pennies." We only had 5 coins, 4 threepenny bits and a tanner. "The threepenny bits go," she said. "Look, 2 each." "Aye, but what about this tanner?" I suddenly had an idea. "Hey, that's a blooming big orange," I said. "I bet you wouldn't get 6 of them for 2 bob. I bet you'd only get, maybe 4. "What?" she said. "You mean 6pence each?" "Aye," I said, "that's a 6penny orange if ever I saw one." "Oh," she said. "So if you keep that, I'll have the tanner we've got here, and we're all even, right?" And I shoved the 2 threepenny bits in her coat pocket and put the rest of the cash in mine. "Oh," she said. "Oh, all right then. I suppose that's fair. A 6penny orange, eh? Wait till I show me ma'am." "No," I said, "don't show her that. She'll wonder where you got it." "Well, tell her," said Josie. "I'll say Mrs. Bradshaw gave us it instead of money for carol singing." "No," I said, no, you can't tell her that. You can't tell her we've been carol singing." If they found out about this at school, I'd be as good as dead, or worse. No, I said, best keep it to yourself, or your sisters will only want some anyway. You keep it all to yourself, you've earned it. Yes, she said, I have. I'll eat it in toilet when I get home. I stuck my hands in my coat pockets. Right, I said, I'll be off then. Yes, she said, it was a laugh, eh? Yeah, I said, it was all right. See ya. And I turned to go. Hey, Derek, she says. Yeah, I said. And when I turned back, she was right in front of me, taking her scarf off. What about a Christmas kiss, then? You what? I said. Oh, go on, Derek, it's nearly Christmas, and I know you won't give me one at school. Damn right I won't, I thought to myself. Then I had a sudden brainwave. Oh, sorry, I said. I've got no mistletoe. She laughed. We don't need mistletoe, you daft beggar. That's just for old folks. Come here. And with that, she grabbed the front of me duffel coat and pulled. She had her face right in front of mine. She was the same height as me, and her nose was really close. I could feel her breath. I just looked, and she closed her eyes, really slow. And her lips kind of squished up together and reached out, all on their own, towards me. I couldn't move. Everything went quiet. I stopped breathing. She stopped breathing. Everything stopped. I think the streetlight might have gone out because it suddenly seemed to go all dark, and then before I knew what was happening, I was doing it. Giving her a kiss. Me! I was kissing Josie Carter, right there at the bottom of Suggett's Lane. Kissing. On the mouth. And by gum it felt good. Oh, lovely. No, not like a kiss from me mam or me Aunt Judy, or like any other kiss I've ever had. It was blooming great. Nice. Warm. Better than toffee. Better than chocolate. Even better than Turkish Delight. I closed my eyes and all. Me and Josie were kissing. Oh. Then she stopped and took her lips away. I could feel the cold air on my face again. Hey, you can open your eyes now, she said. Good night. And she turned and ran up the lane towards her house. I felt a bit queer, a bit dizzy, and I suddenly remembered I had to breathe and sucked in a great big lungful, then blew it all back into the night like smoke from a gun. What have I done? I turned and ran and all the way back home, with streetlights twinkling and the money jangling in me pocket. I was still gobsmacked when I walked into the house. They were in the front room, except me dad, who was still on the kitchen floor with the Christmas lights. He didn't say anything. Get yourself in here, Derek, me mum shouted, and see your Aunt Hilda. She has to leave in a minute. She must have come to bring the Christmas presents, I thought, so I took my coat off and went in. Me Aunt Hilda was a big woman, real big, and she lived on her own at the edge of the moors. Some kids said she was a witch, but she wasn't really. She had the wrong hair for a start. It was all white. She would have made a good missus for Father Christmas, 'cause she had white whiskers and all, on her top lip and all over her chin, but you weren't supposed to notice them. As soon as I walked in, she grabbed hold of me. Now then, young Derek, she said, say hello to your old Aunt Hilda. Would you like a Christmas kiss? No, thank you, I said. I've just had one.